Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Tametsi. And I noticed when I was starting the game up again that they do have a colorblind mode. I don't have to suffer. So let's move on to number 40 here, and you can see that in addition to colors, they've put a letter next to every color, and they've put a letter up here where they describe the color mine totals. So that's a big help, I think. It'll make it like I don't. Hello? Why can't I? Oh right, I can't make this a mine because it's already revealed. But like, okay, that's actually still a little hard to tell, to be honest. It's such a small area. Um, all right. Anyway, here we are on this new puzzle. Where do we start? None of these counts are small enough to do much with, except maybe the 3 of red, but not yet. Okay, so we need to work out, like, I guess large numbers next to small numbers, right? Maybe. Well, this 4 next to the 1 still isn't a big enough differential to conclude that either of these is... Right, it could be all 4 of these and then one of these two. Ah, but this 4 is on an edge. It's more... It's got less space, right? So it has to be these 3 and then one of these 2, which frees up this 1. I'm actually not sure colorblind mode is helping or hurting here. It's now making it hard to see what I've marked as mines. I looked at some other levels to test it out before I started this episode, and it was actually quite nice. I think it's just the really small tile, so I'm going to leave it on for now and try to get used to it. Oh, this 2 next to the 1 means there's 1 here and none here. I kind of wish I could mark a clue as like I don't care about this anymore. Like I could delete this 2 clue, for example, and this 4 clue. Because I've sort of already resolved them, but I guess not. This 4 is in a similar position with this 1. We need these 3 and one of these 2. And that gives us a lot for this 1. This 3, not sure yet. Oh, this 4 only has 4 next to it, so that's nice. This 3, then, already has 2, which means it needs one of these 3, but I'm not sure what to do about that. Are we getting low enough on colors yet, maybe? Like, there's only 4 E's left. I know 2 of them are here, and one of them is here. So I know one of these 3. That is important. Because it means at most one of these 2, which means to finish this 4, we need that space. And now we have one of these 2, 2 of these, and one of these, which means this is not. Yeah. Cool. I mean, I guess we technically know one of these 4, but that's just this one. It's not really telling us anything useful. Okay. What about this 4? Not really. There are 5 B's left. That seems like kind of a lot, doesn't it? Maybe we can force some things to be mine. Oh, actually 6 A's? Yes, that helps a little because 3 of these and 3 of these, right? Therefore, this is not one. Okay, that didn't seem too helpful, but... Right, I can't do anything with this 2, I don't think? Yeah, nothing much. Is there some other way to draw a disjoint set of these A's that's useful? It seems like there is, actually, right? This 1 touches these. So there's one of these. And then, let's say, 2 of these. That's 3 total. And these 3 is 6 total, and we haven't looked at this one, so it can't be here. Excuse me? Why? There are 6 A's. One of them is here. Oh! This 2 is touching a whole bunch of B's, so I don't know it's these 2. That's foolish. Okay. So one of these 2... and 3 of these is 4. So we know 2 of all these, right? But that doesn't really help. In fact, we could tell that just from looking at the 1 and the 3. 1 of these, therefore 2 of these. I wish there were a colorblind mode toggle in-game instead of in the launch menu, so I could, like, see if it actually does look better or worse. I think I could leave and not lose my progress on the puzzle, but I'm not actually sure. How about counting pinks? Can I do anything with that? Not easily. There's 1 here, right? And 2 here. That leaves 2 more, but I don't really know much about where they are. There's still 8 D's out there? Maybe I can do something with that? 1 of these and 2 of these is 3. 2 of these is 5, but I can't make any of the rest be like disjoint sets, so I don't see where to go from there. Okay, I know we already counted the blues, but maybe there's something more now that I've revealed this, maybe? I don't think so, but let's just double check, because I've forgotten what I learned from counting them. 1 of these 2, sure. That leaves 3 E's left. 2 and 1, well, fine. But let's try counting differently. Let's have 1 of these 4. That doesn't help. And it's even possible for this 4 to have all 3 of these E's. And no D's, which is a little bit... like, it would be nice if we could say, oh, there must be at least 1 D here, but we can't even say that. This 4? It's only next to 5 spaces, so only one of them can be a non-mine. I think this one has got to be some, like, combination of color clues. Like, you know, for example, we can say that this 3 is touching at least 1 A and at least 1 B. And maybe that helps us somehow, you know, clues like that. Likewise, this 3. We can always see the blue, but it's also touching at least 1 A. But there are like 5 blues. It's so many. 5 Bs, I mean. Is there some way I can make the C's work out? Like, I don't think so. I don't have nearly enough stuff near them yet, right? In fact, all of the spaces that are adjoining C's, I haven't marked any mines yet. It's kind of interesting. So maybe I can use the fact that there are only 3 C's total to look around the ring of all the C's and determine how many other colors must be marked. Right? Like, suppose that we made all of the C's come from these 2's. Then we're not using any of these B's, which is probably fine. Well, it's not, is it? Because then this 3 would have nowhere to go. Yeah, that's interesting. So this 3 has at least one B next to it. Which... Wait, which means that we can view this 2 as having only at most 1 in these 4 spaces. So it can't have these 2 reds or these 2 Bs. Okay. So that means that this 2 touches at most 1 C, not at least 1. So that's kind of hard to work with. How about this 2? Suppose that it were touching both C's. Then we have none of these D's, which is impossible because of this 5. So this also can touch at most 1 of these C's, but that's not what I don't want to find that out. At most 1 is not helping me very much. I need to find like at least 1s around here to actually make progress. Well, that would make progress in marking the reds anyway. It would be great if I could discover, for example, that this 2 can't touch any of the C's, because then I could click them both and I'd be very happy. I'd learn what's under them, like hopefully get some more clues. And also the neighbors would become simpler even without clues. So, all right, this 4 and 1 are already solved, right? We need information about this 3 to resolve which of these 2. Right? Either we have one of these and then it's this one, or we have neither of them and it's this one. So these 2 are kind of linked to this square. Ugh. I'm just like stumped on this one. I don't see anywhere to go. Let's back out here and try another puzzle. We'll skip this one for now. It's 40, right? Yeah, and we do get to keep progress. Okay. So 41. Yeah, here the colors are very nice, I think. Or the letters. You can easily tell when they're marked. Well, this 4 is a good starting place. The B hint is nice because we know one of these and 2 of these, therefore none of the rest of the B's. Where to now? Okay, I mean this 2 is sort of useful. It means we have exactly 1 here. I'm gonna pencil that in because I get the feeling it's gonna be important for this diagonal clue. So we have, what did I say? 1 of these 2. Okay. What about this 4? Nothing much at the moment, I guess. This 2 across from the 1 is good, I guess. We have 1 of these 2. No, we don't. Because these A's are... Ugh. These A's can still be mines. Is there like an erase button? No. You have to erase all. Okay, the pencil marking in this game kind of sucks. But, alright, whatever. Oh, and I was wrong over here too because of this. I have 1 of this entire region. I see. Well, that's less useful. I guess I likewise have 1 of this region. Similar stuff must apply over here, right? Sort of. This 2 across from the 4 is almost interesting. We have 1 of these 2 and therefore 3 of these 4. But that doesn't... That's not enough to actually get a space. We have 3 of these. Okay, maybe I can start making progress on the total number of A's somewhere. So we have 3 of these. 1 of these, that's 4. That's half of them. 3 of these, that's 7. There's only 1 left I haven't marked yet. Problem is, I can't tell where it is. Well, maybe I can use the diagonal clues for the A's instead? No, because this 4 could include gray squares or could not. Is the total number of mines at all useful? I have 11 colored mines, therefore 14 gray mines. I have 6 of them here. 3 of them here is 9. There are still 5 left, right? At least 1 of them in this area because of the 3. And at least 2 of them in this area because of the 4. But I've covered everything and I haven't even found a single mine, so that's not a very useful avenue, I don't think. Oh, this Well, no. This 2 is sort of interesting because it has two different ones next to it. This is effectively a 1, right? So there's 1 here, which means we have 1 here. We already circled that. But we also have at least 1 in this area because of the 1. I guess that's not useful. We already know that's here. Aha! Okay, we finally have a mine. This 2 is across from a 1. So at most one of these two, therefore this. And that will also give us more spaces next to the 1. This is a mine. One of these two is a mine, so the rest of the 1's neighbors aren't. There we go. Well, now this 2's been sharpened up a little bit, right? It has 1 here and now exactly 1 here. Okay, not sure how that's useful, but it might help us narrow down this 3 diagonal. And maybe we've learned a little bit more about where the A's are, having marked this one. So we know there's 1 here. We know there's 2 more here. That's 3. There's 4 left. I could say 3 of them are here, but then I kind of run out of disjoint areas, don't I? So what if I instead say there's 1 here and 1 here? There's at least 1 here. Still doesn't quite do it. Okay, well, let's just leave this one in then. What was it over here that got me to notice something? There was this 2 across from a 1. Is there another pattern like that somewhere that I'm missing? Well, there's this 2. Across from this 1. But I can't say that much about this. There's at most 1 here, therefore at least 1 here. But maybe 2. I still think, like, maybe we can do something with these 4 diagonals. Because each of them indicates at least 2 oranges in a way, right? They can only touch 2 grays, but not really, because they might share this middle A, and then they would total only 3 oranges. And I'd have to find 4 more, which, like, there's 2 here, but then the rest, who knows? God, this is a hard puzzle game. I don't know. Also, I'm not, like, amazingly good at puzzles. I'm okay, but there are people out there much better than I am, and this is a game for them. You know, I'm having fun and all that, but I wish I were doing a little bit better, that's all. I don't know. The 4 on the right here. We know it has exactly 3 in this area, but that doesn't help much. We've got all these 3s that are touching 4 other cells that we can't narrow down. And all the stuff across this divide is too far apart to really influence each other. So I can't see any more, like, disjoint sub-areas or overlapping sub-areas. See, I keep saying disjoint, but that's not really what I mean. I mean, where one is a superset of the other. That's where you really make progress. When they just have some overlap, it's like, well, who knows? You know, for example, this is the area that is a sub, like, this is the area for this too, which is, oh, I was marking it wrong anyway, because I forgot that this could have a mine. This too has one of these. Aha! I think we did find something out finally. So this too sees one of these two, right? And that's a subset of what's seen by this two. It sees all of these. So if there's one here, then there must also be one kind of here, right? But that's a superset of what's seen by this one. So we know there's no mine here. Okay. That helps a lot. Now this one gives us this, opens up the B's. This 2 goes here. I sort of hoped for more. But I guess it has removed this from consideration for this 4, in a way. And also this 3 is a little bit more restricted now. 2 of these 3 have to be marked. So let's look at this 4 then. It must have at least 2 orange mines, leaving us 4. This accounts for 1 more of them, leaving us 3. At least 1 more, leaving us 3. There's 2 of them are here. But I can't make anything else disjoint. These 2 ones are both seeing some of the area that these lines covered, right? Supposing we did this and said subtract 3. There's 3 left. 2 of them are here. And if this were adding exactly 3, we would get somewhere, maybe, because we could conclude that either one of these A's on the end must be a mine. But that's not true. Like, well, actually, what about this? If we just use this one and say it adds at least 2 more, so there's only 4 reds. 1 of them has to be here. 2 of them have to be here. Not reds, oranges. 2 of them are here. Maybe I can conclude that this has to be a mine or something? I don't know. This square and this A in the center overlapping these 2 diagonals seems important. Ah, no, we finally, okay, we have something simpler. having cleared up this area a little bit, these two ones now have a subset relationship. One of these two, therefore none of the rest of this one. Okay. And this one have a similar relationship now. One of these two, therefore none of these. This one has to go here. This 2 gives us one of these. Therefore, exactly one of these. Not sure what to do about that yet. Ah, but it does. It helps with this 4. Because the 4 needs one here, has at most one here, therefore it needs both of these and one of these. So one of these and one of these, therefore not this B. This 3? Anything? Two of these 3, but I don't see who cares about that. Did we learn enough more about the B's to solve them? I don't think we did. We learned one of these and one of these. But as far as this 2 is concerned, for example, it could be both of these or it could be neither of them. Right, if we marked both of these. And I think this 4 still doesn't give us much. Much more than it did before. We haven't resolved the uncertainty here. Oh, no, we have. We have, because this 1 clue now points to that area. We have one of these 2, and so the 4 mines have to be one here, and both of these. That opens up this 3. We go here, grab these. That's a mine. Was this already a mine? No, because we didn't know about this 3 yet. Okay. How about this 4? Yeah, that is good now, because we see 3 mines already. We know there's one here and one here, so it must be this one in the center. And that's the diagonal done. This 2's already been solved. 3 goes there. There's only 2 A's left, and they're both adjacent to this 3. So now we can get these spaces. Nothing stands out to me here. We know exactly one of these 3, but who cares? This 6 is kind of cool, I guess. It can only have one non-marked space, but I don't know which one, and none of them is especially useful to me. Well, maybe the 6 and the 3 and this 4 are working together somehow. To help with this area up here. Like, it'll tell me whether this is a mine or something. Oh, no, I see. It's simpler. The 3 and the 4 just work together. We need 2 of these 3, and the 4 only has room for 1, so that's 1. And in fact, this is the last one for the 4, so this isn't a mine. Neither is this. And, uh-oh. Yeah, that's right. That's our last mine for the 3. Good. Just counted wrong. One of these gray squares looked white, that's all. This 6 is done now. These must both be mines. Does that resolve this 4? No. Oh, this 1 does, though. Somehow that's been there for a while. Great. There's 1A and 2 other mines. Well, there's exactly 1 on this diagonal and 1 on this diagonal. So if they were down here, there would only be 1 other mine. That's not the case, so this must be a non-mine. It says 1, is that right? Okay, good. This works together with the 2. There's a mine here, and one of these 2 A's, therefore neither of these. Ah, and the 2 next to the 1, no. Because it could be both of these. What am I meant to see here? Why isn't this perfectly symmetrical? This 1 is the asymmetry, but how does that help? I also have a virtual 1 here. No, I don't. Right, this A, and this 3 and this 1. So this 1 sees 1 mine, and it's one of these 2, so it's not this. This should be the end. What am I missing? This 3 goes here, so this diagonal's done. We go there, and this is done. All right. Solved one, believe it or not. We just have to find 76 mines, no problem. Seems like a big number. We do have diagonal mode activated today, so this 5 next to the 1 is pretty important. We have 1 of these at most, therefore we need all 4 of its other neighbors. This fills in the 1. Any other 5s next to 1s? I do love 5s next to 1s. No, but here's 2 3s next to each other. So this part is free. We have a similar thing going on down here with the 1s. This 2 next to this 2, only one of these can be. So this is a mine and this isn't. These 2's next to each other, no, they don't quite have a subset relationship. This 3, I guess, is almost done. Like, it only has 4 neighbors. So only one of them is not a mine, but I don't see how that helps. I guess it's next to this 4, and therefore giving the 4 at least 1 more mine, but perhaps 2. So we can tell that the 4 has at most 1 of these, but I don't see how that's very helpful right now. This 8 on the down, is that enough to do anything with? Not really. What about this 4? That's kind of interesting, because it has 5 neighbors, so at least one of these 2 is a mine. Which means this 2 has at most one of these 2, so at least one of these 3 is a mine for this 2. But so what? This 3 next to a 1 is a little something? There's at most one of all these 3, therefore one of these 2. I don't know, I feel like we need to work on this area somehow. But there's not any good surface to grab onto. Right, nothing that's got this nice subset relationship that I can see that we haven't already marked. Well, there's something down here, but I don't think it's much. We have this 2 and this 2. Actually, that's nothing. Because we don't know whether this 2 has one down here or not. There could be none in those 2, and therefore we could have both of these and none of these. Or we could have one of these, and one of these. So I guess there's at most one here. Is that what I can conclude? Doesn't seem to matter very much. Am I missing something obvious? Is there like a 5 that's only next to 5 spaces or something? I don't think so. Okay, maybe I need to think about color clues. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do next. Seems very difficult to work anything out about colors yet. So we have 6 of these B's and 6 A's also. And they could be like anywhere. Does this 3 say anything? Let me get out the pencil, I guess. Suppose we had all 3 of these be mines. There'd be nothing here. And we'd have this and this also mines. And likewise these to fill these 3s out. There would have to be no mines. I don't know why this is white if I'm not allowed to click it and get white. There'd be no mines here because the 2's done. And there'd be no mine here or here. So these would have to be mines to satisfy this 3. The 4 would be done then, so this couldn't be a mine. But overall it seems possible, right? We were just trying to find out, maybe it's impossible to put all 3 mines here, in which case there would be at least one mine here, and that would be something to work with. but it doesn't seem like that can be ruled out. All right, I'm gonna go try another puzzle again. It's been a rough episode. 43, I guess. Oh, this is easy. It's only 6 by 6. How could it be hard, right? Look at that. They're even giving us a whole row. You should be done with this one in 2 seconds, he said overconfidently. I assume it's going to be difficult. Like nothing's going to come easily on a small grid like this. We do have diagonals. Okay. These two next to each other give me this. This column is all done. One of these two, I guess, gives me one of these two, which gives me one of these two. That seems important enough to write down. Well, at most one of these two. Therefore, at least one of these. But maybe both. So I don't actually know about this. I don't know how to mark that, really. Although maybe we can get a similar at most at least relationship cascading from the right side towards the left to meet up around this too and tell us something real. Because this 4 has at least one of these two spaces, right? So there's at least one of these. What a bizarre colored choice. It's kind of white, I guess. It looked green from a bit of a distance. So there's at least one of these two, which means here we have at most one of these two. Which means, again, that there's at least one of these two. Which means that there's at most one of these two. Which means there's at least one of these two, which means the 1 is done. Very, very convoluted, it seems. And can I do a similar thing over here and prove there was exactly one of these two if I start from this side and go that way? Maybe. Let's find out. So there's exactly one of these. Oh, I don't want to use white for that. There's exactly one of these, which means there's exactly one of these. Therefore, there's exactly one of these. Therefore, there's exactly one of these and exactly one of these. Yes. So I can say that the rest of the 4 row is mines. Well, if I know there's exactly one in each of these little segments, that almost helps with these columns, right? But not really. Ah, no, it does, because there's exactly one here. And now, to have a third, this has to be a mine. Cool. Now, another area we know there's exactly one of is here. And therefore, here. Well, we already knew that from this too. What about this 3? This one's harder to figure out because we don't have a 1 clue just lying around. It could be both of these and not this, right? Well, all right, there's also exactly one of these, I guess, for what that's worth. For this 4. Ah, that might help relate these threes to each other, I think. Because there's a total of 6 mines in these 2 columns, right? 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. That's 3. So there are 3 mines in these squares. Total. We could come to the same conclusion from these 4s, I guess, right? They need a total of 8 mines. We have 4. There's 4 more. 1 and 3. So we know this area has 3 mines. Okay, so what? Maybe this row is the answer, because if there's exactly 1 here, there must be exactly 1 in the rest of this row, right? Can I figure out where it is? Well, boy, I really wish I had a better, like, a more fine-grained eraser. I don't relish the idea of having to erase all of this when I write something down that I decide I don't want anymore. I guess this 3 says something similar, right? There's exactly 2 in this area. This 3 and this 2 must, like, they must help this area somehow, right? Because I think it does mean something interesting, actually. Maybe. Suppose we put a mine here. This would not be a mine. Well, that doesn't help. There goes that. If this were mine, I'm trying to prove that, like, you have to make a V shape or something like that, and then I can figure out where the ends of the V have to go. Okay, well, yeah, so if you put a mine here, the other mine has to go up. You need another one here, right? But that doesn't help. This is... Okay, I was like trying to figure out how are we ever going to resolve this rectangle, because we need, like, either this slash or this slash, right? But we can resolve it by getting clues from the other spaces on the board, so that's fine. Well, maybe a simple thing to try is, could we put both of the 2 mines over in this section? We'd then have to have no mine here, and no mines here. No. Yeah, right? If we put both mines here, then these 2s would rule out the bottom half of themselves. And that's impossible. Because then they'd only have 1 next to them. So you can't have both of the 2 mines here, which means there has to be 1 there. Great. Now what? Now we know from this 2 that there can't be 1 here. Okay. Now we're back to knowing that we have a cross, like a slash here and a slash here. And we need information from somewhere else to resolve that. This 3 is like done. How about this 3? Could kind of go either way, right? This 3? It's almost the last thing left to do anything with, isn't it? We need like 1 of these slashes. And like information from either this square or this square is what's going to help us see it, isn't it? No. Because they're both just going to say, well, you got 1 of these 2, idiot. So how am I going to figure out which of these it is? Maybe this 4 will have to tell me, or this 2? Well, I already know everything I'm going to know from this 2. I know 1 of these 2, which I already knew. It's this 4 that could help me resolve this quandary somehow. So I have to look at this 4 and this 3 region, I guess? Maybe? Oh, no, I see. It's this 3. This 3 needs 3 next to it, and we know it's only 1 of these 2. So this is the other mine for the 3. Here. Now this 2 is done. And this 4 can be finished off, and so can this row. 5, my goodness. This 4 needs to go there. This 2 is done. These 2s are working together now. There's 1 here. Oh no, I already had that. Therefore 1 here. If I look back at my pencil markings, I can see 1 of these 2, which means to finish the 4, we need here. Oh, this 1 already gave us that more easily, I guess. This 5 is good now. We need 1 of these 2, so its 5th must be here. That finishes the column. And this row and this column. This 3 gives us a mine here, not here, here, not here. All right. At least we finished 1. Did we finish 2 this episode? I think we might have done 2. We like skipped 2 others. Okay. That's all for today, though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.